to be on with you guys. Thank you.
All right, we've got ourselves a Bay Area fan base that is, how would you describe it, Guru? Troubled because they don't know what's going on at quarterback. There seems to be a little rift between Garoppolo and Shanahan. Trent Williams is out. Give them something to be optimistic about, Sean.
Well, they got a chance to win it. Now, guys, before I go any further, I'm getting an echo that is killing my. I can't even. There you go. You got me?
Yeah, we got you perfect.
Oh, there you go.
Good.
Now I can focus. My bad.
Did you hear the question?
And plus, yes, I heard the question. Okay. I heard everything. I just I throw up listening to my own voice, so I'd rather hear you guys talk. So I'll tell you what the optimism is that they're not going to play any more poorly than they did last week. They can win the game. Garoppolo plays well against the Rams. 6 or 7-1 since he started against them. Another week of him having an opportunity to physically get going. I wasn't worried about him mentally. I didn't buy into that. But the whole offseason, the injury, when to pull the trigger. So, and we know, guys, this game's about getting some stops, making some chunk plays, protecting the ball, and quarterback play. So I think that and they're at home. They'll be ready for this. So as far as, and I don't really care if a quarterback and a head coach are, brooding over each other and they're disappointed. And tell them to get in line. It happens. So the bottom line is Jimmy's got a job to do. Respect's got to be found, and I know the respect is there. So take care. Got to compartmentalize. This game matters. And guys, I know September people will always say, well, you got to play better in December. I don't believe that. And maybe you do play better in December, but I'm a big believer in winning early games in September and getting out of it. Think about if you're Jacksonville or Cleveland. If they win again, they'll be 3-1 as they continue to wait for Watson. So at the end of the year, maybe somebody needs rest. So I don't know about must-wins in September, but this is a friggin' huge game. They got to control it, but I don't want them to play scared. It's okay to go ahead and throw the football and cut it loose, change the tempo of the game against the Rams, because they're not going to play scared. They're going to let it rip.
Wow, Sean, I was going to ask you about Jimmy and how my heart went out to him. Could you have done it? But you stated what you don't even want to hear any of that, and you played the position. Okay, you talking about scared. How about this? I told Steiny and the listeners years back I gave Kyle his flowers. But now I feel like he's coaching scared, Sean. So you talk about the 10-point leads. I won't even bring up the Super Bowl last year in the championship game. Chicago, they were up 10. They had the lead in Denver, Sean. Are you seeing a theme with Kyle? Is it fair to call him out? Like, are you being ultra-aggressive? You got Debo, Kittle, and Ayuk. If you're not, why?
Yeah, I'm with you. Now, listen. I like Kyle a lot. I'm a big fan, but he's not above criticism. Hell, he's a head football coach. I mean, now take away Kyle and put that same conservative approach. Well, like Lovey's going here with Davis Mills. I know they're different teams, but it's the same thing. It's as if they're playing not to make mistakes. Oh, we got a lead. Let's just protect it. Our defense is good enough. Let's run the football and get out. And before you know it, you start to crawl into that hole, and it becomes a habit to get and a problem to get out of. I think different, man, and maybe I'm not as smart as Kyle, but once I got my foot on your throat, I want to twist my cleat. That's how I think, and honestly, it is. And I think this team, with their personnel, they don't need to play scared. Their defense can keep them at front seven in games and pressure. So, guys, think about anything we do. Think about anything you do in your careers or anything you do. If you're not now, it doesn't mean playing scared. It leads to bad decisions, but it leads to like being afraid that if I throw this ball and it isn't complete, then I got to back off, hand it off, and let's get out and we'll punt it. I am a big believer that aggressiveness leads to more plays, leads to an energy that goes with it, and you can't be afraid to make mistakes. They just can't be stupid mistakes. Put the pressure on your team to be smart football players, which they are. I've never done anything in my life well. I don't do much well anyway, but being passive-aggressive. There's a time and a place. You want to run it and wear out the clock with 4 minutes to go with a 17-point lead, have at it. 10 points in this league's not enough. Stafford can throw it. Yes, you are 100% correct. Quit playing not to lose. It's time to go play to win. 17-10 wins don't happen much in this league. You're going to have to score 24, 25, 28 points to win a game like this.
Sean Salisbury joining us on 95.7 The Game. You can hear him on the Football Hour with Lorenzo Neal every Monday at 6 o'clock. This week, it'll be on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Sean, you were just asked, about Garoppolo and Shanahan, you say, that doesn't mean much, or that's not a big deal. Fair enough. But the mental aspect of the game, when you look back on your career, can you figure out what it was mentally before a game that either played into you playing well, or maybe what, if anything, affected you negatively mentally before a game?
I love this question. And you know what? And when I say what I said about, what coaches disagreeing, right, or maybe not being, rubbing shoulder to shoulder right now, that they're brooding, whatever it is, like you get in a disagreement with your significant other and you don't talk for a day and you realize, why aren't we talking, right? Whatever it is. But it's now the question is, are both parties mature enough and confident enough and smart enough to compartmentalize and not make it personal once the game starts? And that can be hard to do. So I'm judging from the way I look at it that, okay, I got cussed out on Wednesday. I really don't care about it on Sunday. But I'll answer your question. When I was at my worst in football, and there was enough of those, but you know what I'm saying. When I was at my worst, it was I played to protect. You play to protect your job, meaning, okay, I got a good gig. Not selfishly, but way too delicate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Way too delicate. And Tom Moore, the great offensive coordinator, was with Peyton Manning. He's with Brady. He had Carson Palmer. Coach Terry Bradshaw always told us and told me, don't play scared, just don't play stupid. So when I played just to kind of pull the reins back in, I wasn't aggressive. And that didn't mean making poor decisions. It just mean, oh, Sean, you got it. Oh, you hesitate. When you hesitate, you're done in this league at that position. When I was at my best, it was – I don't want to say throw caution to the wind, but the only thing I cared about was making sure my teammates, I gave them the best chance to win. I never played well being delicate, like short-arming and getting cute. And sometimes you can. And so for me, it wasn't the wrath of a coach that bothered me. It was my ability to take, and this is going to sound crazy, but I was asked this question, and this is how I describe it. I was a quarterback, or guys I've been around that have been their best, begged forgiveness rather than asked permission. And I'm going to tell you what that means. At the line of scrimmage, if you like something, you got the ball in your hand, pull it. And then deal with the coach over there. Not stupidity where you're getting greedy.
Sure.
But I like a coach, a player that's willing to go over there and stand out in front of his team to the coach and say, listen, the corner was off. It was 3rd and 2. I like the hitch route, and that's why I throw it, even though the coach wanted you to run inside zone. And your players will rally. The players like Jimmy. So for me, it was when I was too delicate with the football and trying to get cute. But when I was aggressive, and quite frankly, it's almost like you give the middle finger. It's like, throw the middle finger up to yourself and say, nothing's holding me back today. Those were the best games of my career, of my life, all the time. And getting over bad stuff, that, like when you lose a game, like, okay, you let it fester into the next game. Nobody cares about the rearview mirror. It's the windshield. And when I was at my worst, I let those things fester, play to play or game to game. When I wasn't, it was like, who the hell cares? I know I belong here, so let's let it rip.
Wow, good stuff, Sean. Let me ask you this, because my partner always gives me the business because I like the highlights of the big plays, Sean. That's me. But this offseason, I heard the great Justin Jefferson, he said he wanted 2,000 yards. I'm not mad at that, but Justin, what about the team goal? What about the playoffs? And that brings me to the Niners receivers. I'm not saying they're these guys, but I'm seeing a trend early on. We heard about Ayuk and all the rapport he had with Lance. They're not putting up numbers. I know Debo got paid, Sean, but does Jimmy and Kyle risk, if they keep putting up pedestrian numbers in the box score where we're all fantasied out, you think that could become a theme?
You make a great point. One thing I know about receivers, and I mean this affectionately because I played with a lot of great ones, and we see a lot of great ones. They can be selfish and diva and give me the ball. But you know what? If I got a receiver that doesn't want it, then I really don't want him. You get my point?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't. So them and defensive backs think different, right? They're the ones who are always jawing each other on the field. They're the ones. But think about what Jefferson said. He wants 2,000 yards. And you know what that means, though? If he has that kind of season, the Vikings are going to be winning a hell of a lot of games. So whether it's Devo or Ayuk, you can lose a team if you're not getting guys involved. You guys will disappear. I've been with a player that if you didn't get him the ball early in a game, and I'm going to leave his name out, he disappeared for 3 quarters. When you got it to him on the first series, he went haywire. He was that good. So it is, you make a great point. So I don't think it's selfish to want it. Now, it's selfish if you become the distraction saying, we just won by 30 and I'm not getting mine. You know what I mean? There's got to be able to, sometimes you got to put a muzzle on it and realize it's about the team first, winning second. But if the numbers are there, their chances of good players putting up numbers, it's like if Bosa gets 3 sacks. The chances go up, you're going to win. And it's the same on offense. That means those guys are getting involved. I've never been mad at a receiver that wanted the ball, demanded the ball, wanted to fight with you if you didn't get in the ball, as long as his individual stuff didn't step in the way of us kicking somebody else's ass.
Hey, Sean, thank you so much as always for joining us, man. Have a good weekend of football.
Go 49ers. They're going to win this week, and I appreciate you guys. I always love
Sean,
being on with you.
Before we let you go, I got to ask this because the art of coaching. Saturdays are different for USC because Lincoln Riley. I got friends that are diehard fan. What is it now? All of a sudden, it's a show again. Are you happy?
Hey, I can't wait. Yeah, keep an eye on the sidelines at the Coliseum. You know they're going to be filled with every celebrity on the planet as this goes. I'm going to tell you that's this, and you heard it here first. I'm just telling you. I'll tell you why it is, because you go back to what the 49ers, he's playing aggressive. He is going for the throat, and he's using every weapon and wearing them out and getting them the ball all over the place, and they got team speed. If they're going to beat Arizona State big this week, next week they play at Salt Lake City. If they beat Utah in Salt Lake City, the Trojans are going undefeated until they get to the Final Four. Now, we'll see then. They will make the playoff if they beat Utah next week. They're going to boat race the rest of the conference. It'll be that final. We'll find out how physical they are. And listen, I'll crawl 10 miles over broken glass to watch Lincoln Riley call football games. I'm in all day.
All right. Thank you so much, Sean.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks. Have a great one.